News and analysis at townhall.com.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
On 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Increasing clouds overnight, a slight chance for some showers. Our low is 63. Tomorrow, morning rain possible. Muggy will clear some for the afternoon. The high all the way to 85. Wednesday even warmer with a blend of sunshine and clouds and a high temperature up to 87. We are cooler and we get rain on Thursday. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com. The Point. The Point.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
All right, let's get the week rolling. Welcome in. The best 2 hours of your day about to unfold. I know it's been a crazy day in a number of different ways. First day of free agency in the NFL is sort of like the first day of the Portal John opening. NFL players flushing their way out of their teams, one to another. My team has lost, my team being, of course, the all-time greatest team in NFL history, the Green Bay Packers. We lost two great defensive ends today. I see, this is the whole deal. This is why I hate what's going on in college sports, because if you were a fan of a college team, you just can't get to love a player anymore because they're here and they're gone with their free agency. Now, at least in the pros, you can lock a guy down for 3 years, 4 years, but then free agency hits and they're out the door or they get traded because of cap considerations. I mean, the Packers, I guess they have a grand plan in mind when it comes to their defensive ends, but J.J. Inabari, the former Gamecock star, who has really come into his own the last couple of years, he's going to be a new – why would you go to the Jets? Well, the money, but he's going to the Jets. And Rashawn Gary, the other defensive end, a former first-round draft pick, he's going to – I think he's going to the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's going to the Cowboys. Of course, they got Micah Parsons, and that makes all the difference in the world, but now they lose two really good defensive ends. And it's happening all over the league, of course. Big names are moving all over the place, and we'll kind of go through the list here a little bit later on, but it's been a crazy day from that standpoint. Of course, around here, we're focused on the tournaments beginning this week. ACC tournament in Charlotte. Matt Smith will be there covering Clemson starting on Wednesday. And the SEC tournament in Nashville. I'll be there covering South Carolina beginning on Wednesday. Both of us have the late nights. I mean, the Gamecocks and the Tigers are going to be dueling one another for attention like at 9:30 at night on their respective nights. So it's going to be a late night for everybody watching college basketball when it comes to those two. Of course, Clemson, you do expect to hang around a little while. I mean, Clemson's had too good of a year. They're too good of a team to go one and out. And so they'll get the winner of Wake Forest and Virginia Tech on Wednesday night. And South Carolina, of course, hey, they've got obviously a winnable game on Wednesday against Oklahoma. They've already beaten Oklahoma, and they can beat them again, I'm sure. And then if they were to win that, then they would play Texas A&M in the next round. So I don't expect the Gamecocks to make it past Texas A&M. They might beat Oklahoma. Wouldn't expect them to get past Texas A&M. Might not even beat Oklahoma. I mean, they did win that game at Ole Miss with Michie Johnson hitting a prayer from 35 feet. Really wasn't a prayer. It was a good shot. I mean, good form. He was confident in his shooting. He eyed the basket, squared it up, and knocked it down. That was not an accidental three, but it was a deep three. And that was a win for the Gamecocks, a rare win for them this season on the road. What happens with South Carolina basketball after this week? What happens with the men's team at South Carolina after this week with Lamont Paris? We all know that he's got years left on his contract. We all know he's got a buyout that would amount to about $12 million. We all know that he's on the national hot seat, hot list by the national pundits. That's the only thing being talked about with Gamecock men's basketball right now is what's going to happen with Lamont Paris. It's a shame that it's come to this, but that's where it is. And I mean, when you look at the overall body of work is not good. The overall body of work for his entire career really is not that good. He's only had in his stint at Chattanooga and at South Carolina, he's only had 3 winning seasons. He had 2 at Chattanooga. He's had 1 at South Carolina. He's been to 2 NCAA tournaments, lost in the first round in both cases. So body of work is not great, yet he appears to be a good basketball coach. Some good basketball coaches don't make good head coaches. I mean, let's face it, they just don't. Just like some good football coaches don't make good head coaches. They're good assistants. He was obviously an excellent assistant at Wisconsin for a long time. But, they hit a shot to win the Southern Conference to make the NCAA tournament. That impressed Ray Tanner and the Gamecock administration back then, and that was the guy they went with. And except for that one magical season a couple of years ago, it's been ugly. The numbers just don't lie. It's a bad period of South Carolina men's basketball right now. And can he fix it? And I know the idea is spend more money and go buy better players. Well, that might just do it. If you think he's the right coach, then you make the investment and you go and you hit the free agent market like nobody else's business. And if it takes $10 to $15 million to get your roster to where it's respectable and you can win in the SEC, and you're committed to doing that, then you ride with him and you do that. You wonder if, will there be pressure if Jeremiah Donati decides to keep him, will there be pressure to make changes on the staff? Which, I mean, that's a tough position to put a coach in. You got guys that have been with you since your days at Chattanooga. They came with you to South Carolina. They helped you have a very good second year. They've proven with the right pieces and the right people in place that they can win games. But do you make them – I mean, I've always felt like that's a cop-out when it comes to dealing with head coaches. Okay, I'm going to keep you, but you got to fire your staff. You got to go find new people on your staff. I mean, does he need to go find some older guys on his staff, some more experienced guys on his staff? I don't know. I don't know his staff, except by name. And from what I've seen, they seem like good coaches. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with South Carolina men's basketball by the end of this week, because the season will be coming to an end this week. They're not winning the SEC tournament, are they, Plummer? Plummer, would you put your salary, which is pretty doggone high, would you go to Vegas and put your salary on the Gamecocks winning the SEC tournament?
No.
Okay.
I do have my money on my team, though.
Well, you should bet on the Gators. I mean,
I'm not putting my salary on it, but I will put a significant amount of money towards the amazing Florida Gators.
Well, you're
honestly the best basketball team to ever live. They could be out. They could win against anybody.
But you're really not old enough to gamble, are you?
Sure, I am. I mean, sports betting is illegal in South Carolina, so.
But you do it anyway.
We would never do it.
Yeah.
We would never do it.
Yeah, you
but I'm
do
just
it
saying,
anyway.
I have my money on the Gators if I were to bet.
Yeah. Okay. Richland County Sheriff's Department. We're located at. I want them to come pick you up.
What's the address, Phil?
Take you away.
What's the address?
Just off of Gervais Street. That's all I need to know. And keep walking until the weed. Just follow the smell of the weed, and you'll find the radio station.
The officers, they're good at that part of their job.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. That's South Carolina. Now the women, of course, fell short yesterday against Texas. Fell hard to Texas. Texas came out and hit them with 2 touchdowns right off the bat, 14-0. And Gamecocks never really recovered from that. What does that mean for them? I mean, basically, it means they're going to be the number 4 national seed and going to go out to Sacramento to play after they win their 2 games in Columbia, their 2 patsies in Columbia, their 2 walkovers in Columbia. They'll win those 2. Then they'll go to Sacramento. But down the road, what it's going to mean is they'll be the number 4 seed in the Final Four, which means they'll play Connecticut in the national semifinals. Can this team beat Connecticut? You know, I don't know. Not the way they played the other day, and probably not. Period. I mean, Connecticut is just that good. And UCLA, Texas, they can beat Texas. They've proven that. Lost to UCLA earlier. Those are your top 4 teams. The Gamecocks slipped from 3 to 4 in the women's AP poll this week. So that's your top 4, and those will be your top 4 seeds. So I'm sure that was a shock to the system, to see the USC women lose at home. In Greenville, lose on their favored court outside of Columbia in front of the Fams. Tough pill to swallow. Little humble pie. Little humble pie is good for everybody. Little humble pie with Cool Whip on top, that's good for everybody from time to time. So a little humble pie there, and they'll get back to work and see what they can do going into the tournament. I wonder if, let me think, the Clemson women, would they put the Clemson women in Columbia? And then and the Clemson women, I don't know anything about women's basketball, but if they make the tournament, which they seem to think they're going to make the tournament, would be about a 9 or a 10 seed, an 8 or a 9 or a 10 or 11 for the Clemson women. And, South Carolina would be a 4 national seed, but the number 1 seed in their little pod, whatever they call it. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool to see that work out where the Clemson women played in Columbia. And you might have a South Carolina-Clemson showdown to move on to the next round in Sacramento. So anyway, that's what's happening there with on the women's side of things. And baseball over the weekend, Clemson just slaughtered LaSalle. Slaughtered. And South Carolina did, had a little tough going on Saturday with Princeton, couple of close games, and then blew them out. Princeton ran out of pitching, but blew them out yesterday in Columbia. So the Gamecocks going to play at the Citadel tomorrow night, and Alex Philpott is going to get the start for South Carolina. This became more than just a midweek game. This became a huge game now for South Carolina because this is a guy that was projected as a weekend starter before his injury, and now he's healthy. He's gone through his throwing program. He's healthy. And, boy, I tell you what, nothing against the Citadel because they've got a fine team. From a South Carolina standpoint, Palmineri and company, they are really hoping that Philpott goes out and gives them a great start tomorrow night. He'll be on a pitch count. If he could give them maybe 3 strong innings, man, that would just do wonders for their rotation as they get ready to go to Florida, which, by the way, lost a series to High Point over the weekend. So, all the belly aching about South Carolina losing some games, and there's plenty to belly ache for the few of you who've been showing up for the games. I've never seen the attendance so bad at South Carolina baseball. Never. Never. Just never. I can't believe the give up in people on this baseball team thus far. And it just kind of shows you the mindset of today's sports fan. If you're not winning, I don't care. I'm moving on. But if you start winning, look out, I'm coming back. The fair weather fan is everywhere, not just at USC. They're everywhere. But, Gamecock baseball, even the most loyal fans aren't really showing up. I know they moved the game last night from an afternoon game to a 7 o'clock start once the weather cleared out. There couldn't have been – of course, people were spread out all over the park. There couldn't have been 1,000 people in the ballpark. Maybe not even 500. And I think pretty much same thing over the weekend. Except for the Clemson series, the Clemson home game. There's been very few people at the games this year. And I guess, you got to show me something You got to go win some games. You got to show me something. So we'll see what they do. They've got a 5-game winning streak going right now. And they are going to play the Citadel, which is no easy task. Citadel's capable. And then down to Florida to open SEC play. Clemson opens ACC play this week against Georgia Tech. And the Tigers are, 15-1? Have a great record? I think they're 15-1. All right, so we got that going on. And, of course, spring football. South Carolina's on break. Clemson is still practicing. The Tigers got a commitment last night from a linebacker out of Michigan. We'll let you hear from him during our recruiting report. We have a little short interview with him, and we'll bring that to you coming up in our recruiting report a little bit later on. So one thing we haven't done, and it's the plumber's fault and it's Bergie's fault. Bergie will be back tomorrow night. He's coming off a long road trip, and he's a little bit also under the weather. As a matter of fact, Paul Maneri said his baseball team is really struggling with illness to the point that that Evans, one of his outfielders, went home to be with his family to kind of recuperate from the illness that has cost him a lot of weight, and he was not with them the entire weekend. So they've had a bad illness going through that team. He said Scobie was sick but insisted on playing through the weekend. That kid's a stud. They got some guys who are starting to hit and all that. So, anyway, getting off the subject. Recruiting, we'll talk about Bryce Kish of Michigan, who committed to Clemson. Let you hear a little interview with him. And we got other stuff related to football. Oh, what I was about to say, that the plumber and Bergie, they take up so much time on the air. We haven't had a chance to get a lot of phone calls here of late. Phone calls and text messages. So we got to start getting back to those because obviously that's important and what we do here on the program. So the phone number is 888-898-2525. That is the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to reach us here on Sports Talk. And our text line number is 803-900-4847, 803-900-4847. And that is presented by our good friend Larry Lucas. Larry Lucas State Farm Insurance, taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. LarryLucasAgency.com or 803-799-1998. That's the Columbia office. The Lexington number, 803-359-0770. So we'll hit some calls, check on some messages, drop in some interviews and stuff like that. Pass along a lot of interesting news nuggets, have recruiting. So it is a full-blown Manic Monday. By the way, anybody notice how good the Boston Celtics are right now? We're only 2.5 games back. 2.5 games back of the Pistons in the East. We're going to win the East. Mark it down. Be back in a moment.
Too tough to tame? Try too rough to ride. Nothing about this place lets you sit back. It rips up your tires and tears at your heart. Let's go! History, glory, consequences. That's Darlington, where stripes are well earned. The Goodyear 400. NASCAR's best face the lady in black. And this spring, how about that? She'll leave her mark. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Darlington Raceway, March 20th through the 22nd. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
This is Major Billy Downer with the Department of Natural Resources, and I've got a message for all of our hunters out there. When you go afield, always make sure to positively identify your target. Know the identifying features of the game you're hunting, and know what's beyond your target in case you miss. If you want more information on hunter education, visit dnr.sc.gov or join us on Wednesday nights for SC Wild.
You can listen to SC Wild on the Sports Talk Media Network or at dnr.sc.gov/podcasts.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
Hi, I'm attorney Jim Corbett. For over 35 years, I've been making claims, litigating cases, and mediating cases. Quick checks from a car wreck are usually lowball offers. What happens 5 or more years from now when you didn't get the treatment or compensation you needed? Call me, Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968, or jim@jimcorbettattorney.com, Corbett with an E, and the initial consultation is free. Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968.
Start your journey with a new auto loan. Get on the road with an auto loan from Founders Federal Credit Union. From city streets to off-road trails, your journey begins here. Our competitive rates can get you on the road in a ride that fits your lifestyle and budget. With no payments for up to 90 days, you can apply for a pre-approved spending limit, valid for 30 days before you start shopping. Visit one of our many convenient office locations, or go to foundersfcu.com/auto to apply for an auto loan today. Membership qualification required. See webpage for details.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network. Phil Kornblutz and the Plumber. Josh Cohen, a great American, at your assistance tonight. Tomorrow night from Nashville, Wednesday night from Nashville, then we'll see if we're still in Nashville, and also Wednesday night from Charlotte as we cover the SEC and ACC tournaments. Let's get to some phone calls. We'll hit up some news notes coming up here in just a little bit. Tiger Bryan in Lancaster up first tonight. I'm surprised that Tiger Bryan got the clock right. I thought he might be an hour behind, but apparently he sprang forward. He sprang forward on Sunday morning. Way to go, Tiger Bryan. Way to hang in there with the rest of us.
I'm going to tell you what's going now. I had to sleep an hour over. Yeah. Saturday to Sunday morning.
I know.
And this morning. Yeah. It takes a lot. When you get a little age on you, you get doing the same thing, go to bed at the same time.
Yeah.
It wasn't dark. You know what I mean?
Understood.
I'm going to tell you what, our baseball team, they'll go farther than our basketball team will.
You think so? You think this is a year they go deep?
I do.
You think Omaha? You think Omaha?
I don't know about Omaha, but they'll go farther than the basketball team will.
Well, I think, it looks like the basketball team's going to be an 8 or 9 seed, depending what happens in the ACC tournament. If they can win a game or two, hang around there for a little while, maybe even deeper. They'll probably be an 8 seed, which would give them a very tough opening round opponent. So we saw what happened last year. It really doesn't matter, because you went in favored last year and you got bounced in the first round. So, Yep,
you're exactly right, Brother Say. You know what? We're going to make the spring game, and then we're going to Florida the weekend after that. So I'll be at the spring game.
So you're going
my number.
You're going to Florida you're going down to Florida for a vacation?
My anniversary.
Oh, Lord.
Me and Miss Tiger Bryan, Thursday, we've been married 38 years.
Wow.
You got to give her a data boy on that now.
That a boy or that a girl. That a boy and that a girl. That's pretty awesome, man. That's
well, we're gonna
what is your secret to a happy married life?
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah.
I'll take my number.
Okay.
I'll see you at Clemson.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
All right, well, I'm going to text you. I'm going to have a shirt that says Tiger Bryan.
Tiger Bryan. Will it be orange?
I got one black. It's Tiger Bryan 63. That's my birthday year.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear that, but I don't know. I've been working out. I don't know if I can fit in it. But
yeah.
Hard
to get those guns inside those sleeves, huh?
Lord, I'm going to tell you what. We went today. His wife, she put me through the ringer.
Does she work out too?
Oh yeah, me and her we go 3 or 4 days a week now. Ever since that was our New Year's resolution.
I've never seen Mrs. Tiger Bryan, but I bet you she's a fox.
Oh yeah. I don't have no bad looking woman now.
I can't imagine. I cannot imagine what's on your elbow.
Hey, and she made a bunch of money working at Duke Fire over the years. 30 years ago, for stock program. We sit there fat cats, baby.
I understand.
Everybody always about the damn stock market. I said, nah, we drawing enough. Come here. Yeah.
I am not shocked by that. This is my not shocked look. I am not shocked by that.
Well, I've done heat nerve all them years, too, now, corn. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't do nothing, you know what I mean?
I know. Hey.
Yeah. You got to be.
From what I understand from people I've talked to around Lancaster, you were, at that time, one of Lancaster's most eligible bachelors, so.
No, I was the most tight bachelor. I kept my money.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I'm tired of my man. We didn't never hold a credit card or nothing. I got a couple bills, couple knots in my pocket. I don't go nowhere.
You are smart to do that. All right, TB, thank you. Way to get the week rolling, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
On 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Increasing clouds overnight, a slight chance for some showers. Our low is 63. Tomorrow, morning rain possible. Muggy will clear some for the afternoon. The high all the way to 85. Wednesday, even warmer with a blend of sunshine and clouds and a high temperature up to 87. We are cooler and we get rain on Thursday. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
When storms hit the Midlands, who do you trust to keep your family safe and dry? Shingos Now, your local family-owned pros. Charlie and Rodney, both GAF Master Elite contractors, deliver honest, top-quality roof repairs and replacements. Licensed, insured, and proud to offer free inspections and estimates, we make protection stress-free and affordable. You can count on Shingos Now, the team that treats you like family. Shingos Now, roof repairs right away. Visit shinglesnow.com today.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump had a call with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss the war in Iran and other issues. According to the Kremlin, Monday's frank and businesslike conversation lasted about an hour. Iran has launched more attacks on Israel and Gulf countries, while heavy U.S. and Israeli bombardment has been going on for more than a week. Taking a look at other news today, a New Jersey man has pleaded guilty to charges that he brought dozens of homemade explosive devices to a Washington, D.C. church that was preparing for an annual mass celebrating the start of the Supreme Court's term. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 239 points, the Nasdaq rose 308, the S&P advanced 56. This is SRN News.
Nobody plans for a plumbing problem. They come unannounced and usually at a very inconvenient time. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is your trusted ally. They recognize just how vulnerable a customer is at this time, and they want to help. They have well-trained plumbers who are there to make a difference when you need it most. I've experienced this. They're knowledgeable about their craft. They're not coming to your house to pitch new products. If something is broken, they'll give you a price to fix it if it's possible, or a price to replace it if necessary. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is also locally owned and operated, or I simply wouldn't endorse them. Josh and his team prioritize customer service above everything else. They handle every issue with care and precision. Those are not just words. I've had Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning out to my home. They back up those words with their actions. If you have a crisis, get some peace of mind. Online, you find them at franklinplumbing.sc.com, or you call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. I'm absolutely positive they will make whatever is wrong right again. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning.
If you've never had genuine Wagyu or Hereford steaks and burgers, you don't know what you're missing. Time to order the best of the best from HandJCattle.com. These are local farmers in Saluda where tradition meets quality. The best quality beef and a discount for Point listeners. Enter keyword The Point as one word and get 10% off, plus free delivery in Lexington and Richland County orders of $50 or more. It's cooked in season over at HandJCattle.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Paliak, the new owner of Columbia Screen Printing and Design, formerly Bardak Design and Tease Me. We've rebranded, but our experienced staff and quality results haven't changed. We proudly serve the Columbia area with top-notch garments and design, and offer free delivery on our local orders. Visit us on Rosewood Drive near the fairgrounds or check us out online. For t-shirts, sweatshirts, jerseys, koozies, and more, call Columbia Screen Printing and Design at 254-7940. We're local, fast, and ready to wow you.
Start your journey with a new auto loan. Get ready for a season of adventure. Escape the ordinary and get on the road with an auto loan from Founders Federal Credit Union. From city streets to off-road trails, your journey begins here. Our competitive rate can get you on the road in a ride that fits your lifestyle and budget, featuring no payments for up to 90 days. You can apply for a pre-approved spending limit valid for 30 days before you start shopping. Let a Founders representative be your trusted advisor to make sure your purchase makes sense for you and your finances. Ask for a free auto insurance quote for a personalized plan to protect your purchase. Founders also offers low fixed rates for used vehicles, giving you an affordable fixed monthly payment. Visit one of our many convenient office locations or go to foundersfcu.com/auto to apply for an auto loan today or to see if you qualify for membership with Founders. Membership qualification required. See webpage for details.
Okay, back with you, Sports Talk Media Network. More calls coming up in just a moment. Poll question of the week, presented by Larry Lucas, State Farm Insurance. Barring a miracle, this season will end for USC this week in Nashville. Do you expect Jeremiah Donati to retain Lamont Paris as head coach? That's not do you want or not want, is do you expect Jeremiah Donati to retain Lamont Paris as head coach? Of the early voting, 59.3% say they do not, and 40.7% say they expect that he will. So we shall see. He hasn't uttered a word about the men's basketball program that I have seen reported anywhere. So if he's planning to do something after this week, it will come as a surprise whatever he decides to do, one way or another. I mean, will you be – I think you'll be surprised either way. I think there'll be people surprised if they keep him, and I think there'll be people surprised if he does not. My gut tells me that he won't do anything, that he'll work with Lamont Paris, try to give him more of what he needs, and cross his fingers and hopes that it's better next year. But they got to fix it. They got to fix it. I mean, Gamecock men's basketball has just become – that's another place where it's a cemetery to go to a basketball game. How you bring a prospect in and try to impress that individual that this is an exciting place to play basketball with great fan interest and support in the stands, you know, people just aren't showing up or didn't show up. And, you know, same thing, like I said, right now is going on with baseball. Now, baseball's got a chance to change that by going out and winning tomorrow night and going down to Florida and winning a series. Man, to beat Florida, to win a series for that baseball team would be huge. And I haven't looked closely enough at the numbers down in Florida yet to have a feel. I do know they've lost some games. They lost a series this past weekend. They have slipped in the polls, as a matter of fact. In fact, let me go over a few things here from a news standpoint, and then we'll get back to more phone calls. 888-898-2525 is the number. Baseball rankings this week. Baseball America, Clemson 12, no Coastal. D1 has Clemson 11 and Coastal 16. Perfect Game has Clemson 19, no Coastal. The coaches, Clemson 9 and Coastal 25. Your baseball RPI for the state this week. Clemson is 3. Charleston Southern is 26. USC is 39. Winthrop is 50. Citadel 56. Upstate is 89. Coastal is 92. Wofford is 192. College of Charleston is 214, and Presbyterian is 296. This doesn't really matter anymore, but for one more time, old time's sake, the net basketball rankings for state teams this week. Clemson is 36. USC is 107. The Gamecocks won on the road, and they slipped a spot. Winthrop 130. Charleston 163. Furman 194. Furman plays East Tennessee State tonight for the Southern Conference Tournament Championship. Coastal 231. Charleston Southern 243. Wofford 245. PC 262. Upstate 303, Citadel 345, and South Carolina State 357. SEC individual awards announced. No Gamecock player was picked for the 15-player all-conference team. Coach of the Year, Todd Golden, Florida. Player of the Year, Darius Acuff Jr., Arkansas. Newcomer of the Year, Dalen Swain of Texas. Freshman of the Year, Acuff. Sixth man, Urban Clavzar. Urban Clavzar from Florida. Defensive Player of the Year, Ruben Chinalu from Florida. Same thing now for the ACC, their individual honors, with no Clemson player making the All-ACC team. How about that? No Clemson player made the All-ACC team out of 15 players. Cameron Boozer of Duke, Player of the Year. Malik Brown, Duke, Defensive Player of the Year. Cameron Boozer of Duke, Rookie of the Year. Juke Harris, Wake Forest, Most Improved. Malik Brown of Duke, Sixth Man of the Year. John Shire of Duke, the Coach of the Year. Does anybody else play basketball in the ACC besides Duke? I guess not. They get all the honors. Oh, here's one more note I got to mention. So the NBA has canceled the Atlanta Hawks promotion a week from tonight with Magic City. Magic City is a, for lack of a better word or words, it's a strip club. It's a gentleman's club in Atlanta. It's like it's like an old-time.
How do you know so much about it, Phil?
I read.
Oh, that's why?
I read.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to say I haven't been to clubs in Atlanta. I've never been to Magic City.
Okay.
At least I don't recall. I might have gone and just don't remember. Anyway.
That night was a blur. Is that what you're saying?
Probably was. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said they became aware of this promotion, reached out to the Hawks for more understanding. They appreciate the team's perspective and desire to move forward. We've heard significant concerns from a broad array of stakeholders, including fans, partners, and employees. I believe canceling this promotion is the right decision for the broader NBA community. Now, my man Teddy Hefner, back in the day, he did his show from, shall we say, a gentleman's club in Columbia live. And I think he was so close to the stage you could hear them introduce the artists, shall we say. You could hear the names of the artists going out over the air. So anyway, that's the story there with that. Back to phone calls. Nope, we're having a phone issue. Why is our computer doing all kind of funny things?
I am not a scientist, Phil.
Okay, well, while we get the phones.
We have Andy. You want to take Andy's call?
Is it now working again?
It is. Well, let's try it out.
If Hank is back on the line, he deserves to go next because he was in line.
I have no way to check right now.
So we're just going to fly.
I believe
blindly here?
I know Andy's here though.
Yeah, is that because you know Andy's number?
That is correct.
That's a little weird.
We're good friends.
You know Andy's number? Do you call Andy at strange times of the night?
Usually after 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go to Andy in Columbia, since he's such a friend of the plumber. Andy, welcome into Sports Talk. How are you?
We have Michigan talk.
I heard that.
When I lived in Atlanta, I would visit the Cheetah and Tattletales.
There you go.
The Cheetah. I don't think Magic City was around.
Well, the Cheetah was, let's face it was a landmark. That's a place you had to visit if you were in downtown Atlanta. You had to visit the Cheetah. It's like going to the Varsity. Go to the Varsity for dinner, and then the Cheetah for whatever else is on your mind.
Yep. A couple of things here, Mr. Corn.
Both were greasy, I'll tell you that. Both were really greasy.
Oh, I had some good times at both places.
I bet.
Best onion rings around was at Varsity.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved their onion rings.
Yep.
And their orange whip.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of chili dogs, and I'm right there.
There you
Frosted orange is great.
What's that?
The frosted orange is great. It's a great
The
great
orange
dessert.
whip. Yep.
Yes.
Mr. Corn.
Mm-hmm.
Last year's baseball attendance, was it that spectacular?
Well, it started out okay. I think it's nothing like I've seen so far this year. I mean, last year was better than what I've seen from the start this year. Oh, no, there was nothing to write home about.
But nothing like it used to be.
Oh, no.
You think it was
No.
because of that a lot of people weren't happy with who Ray Tanner chose as the coach of the team?
Do you think people were unhappy when he was hired? I mean, you are talking about a guy who was a national champion coach, a Hall of Fame coach. I know he'd been removed from the game for a couple of years, but still, you know, Paul Mainieri's name in college baseball was and still is a big name. Maybe people just, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Are things internally bad? Are things worse than we see on the outside, or are things going to get better? I don't know. We'll see. I just say you got to see.
I don't know about internally, but I know externally it's not. I mean, you know who I was pushing for the whole time. I hear people talking his name all the time of how they wished that he would have became coach and would have went in a younger direction than a Mainieri.
And who was that?
You know, Landon Powell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think that, you know, that might still give more enthusiasm to the fan base than Coach Mainieri. But I don't know. Coach Mainieri might surprise me and might surprise all of us, and, you know, things can turn around and we can have a great year, and, you know, hopefully that'll happen. Now, regarding Coach Paris, how much more time does he have on his contract?
After this year, I believe it is 3, because he got an extension back to 5 when they went to the tournament, and then it was the next year left him with 4. So after this year, should leave him with 3, if my math is correct. $12 million.
What's his buyout?
$12 million and
$12
change.
million?
And change. 65% of the balance. 65% of what he'd be owed, which is $18 million. So it's about $12 million plus. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What happens to the assistants once he's fired? Do they get a buyout, or they just kind of kick to the side?
It depends on their contracts. Depends on what their I don't know what their contracts are.
What their contracts read.
Yeah, I could look them up, but I mean, some assistants have. They don't usually have like buyouts, but they might have a year or 2 left that the school has to honor to a certain amount.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but my question is this: if you get rid of Coach Paris, I mean, who's really out there that's going to generate any type of excitement for this fan base? Are you going to go back to someone like a Coach Paris again? That's not a Power 4 coach. That
if it were to
kind of had a good year at college, and now you're bringing him in, and you don't know what he can really do at a Power 4 situation.
Well, what do most ADs?
If that's the case, why bring someone in?
What? And thank you, Andy. We'll let you run. Most ADs at a school like South Carolina, when it comes to basketball, unlike football, they don't usually swing for the fences. Think about, except for Mike McGee, when he tried to appease the fan base by hiring Bobby Crimmins, and that blew up. And then he went out and hired Eddie Fogler, which was Eddie Fogler was a national coach of the year and a huge name. And he was not some mid-major who just got hot in the NCAA tournament. There was Dave Odom, but Dave Odom was an older, veteran guy. So most of them look at either the hottest assistant coach at a blue blood, or the hottest guy coming off of a great year at a mid-major, like the coach at Miami of Ohio. he's probably going to have all kind of offers thrown his way with the kind of season he had. Arizona State just came open, for example, or is expected to come open. Georgia Tech is open. What's the other ACC school just came open? The other one that didn't make the tournament. Come on. There's 2 ACC jobs. Oh, Boston College. Boston College just came open. So, there'll be those schools. Or South Carolina historically has here in recent years has gone that route. Frank Martin came from Kansas State, but he was having some issues there and was ready to get out. And he was coming off a pretty good run at Kansas State. I mean, it could go either way. If it were to come to that, which I'm not saying it is, I don't think it will. But if it were to come to that, I imagine he will look first back at his TCU roots and may even, try to tap into that or people that he's known there, like he did with Kendall Briles on the football staff, helping out Shane Beamer, no doubt using his connections at TCU to make that happen. I would imagine he'd use some of his contacts and ties back to his Texas days to see if there's some interest in that area. And then you go from there, But I don't think it's going to come to that. I could be wrong. I'm just hunching that they're going to give him another year, see if he can get this thing turned around in a big way. Thanks very much. Appreciate the phone call. 888-898-2525, South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. Just came back from the beach, of course, from over the weekend. Had a great time at the Classic. You can get to the beach as well, of course, and enjoy a great time there. Have yourself a great place to stay on the beach. Just call Jimmy Smith at James Smith Real Estate. Let him hook you up. 843-237-4246, Paulie'sVacationRentals.com. Again, 843-237-4246. Be right back.
Too tough to tame? Try too rough to ride. Nothing about this place lets you sit back. It rips up your tires and tears at your heart. Let's go! History, glory, consequences. That's Darlington, where stripes are well earned. The Goodyear 400. NASCAR's best face the lady in black. And this spring, how about that? She'll leave her mark. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Darlington Raceway, March 20th through the 22nd. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
It might be tough to picture your kid in college today, but it'll be here before you know it. Future Scholar, South Carolina's 529 college savings plan, makes it easy to start saving right now. You can start with any amount. Savings grow tax-free, and friends and family can chip in too. Discover the smart, easy way to save today at FutureScholar.com. That's FutureScholar.com. That's FutureScholar.com.
Looking for a new car? You need to think about a Kia.
If you're in the market for an SUV, consider the new Kia Telluride or the new Kia Sorento. They're big, they're strong, and loaded with tech for thousands less than Honda or Toyota. You'll see the difference right away, and you get double the warranty. Plus, you get the JT's Advantage million-mile warranty and about 1,000 other things you have to see to believe.
If you want the biggest bang for your buck, it's time to think about a new JT's Kia.
We're serious about saving you money.
Just like in college basketball today, sometimes it's about who you bring in off the bench to provide that extra spark. At StraightUpSports.net, we're excited to announce the addition of Brett Friedlander, a longtime ACC insider columnist, to our all-star lineup that includes Bob Gillespie, Scott Kiefer, Mark Sturgis, and more. At StraightUpSports.net, it's always about the stories. Check out this all-star lineup at StraightUpSports.net or at Straight Up Sports on Facebook.
Back to calls in just a second. Want to update a couple things. They have wrapped up the Hayt, H-A-Y-T, that's how they spell that, Ponte Vedra, Florida, Sawgrass Country Club. South Carolina finished 7th, minus 12. Clemson 8th, minus 11. And Coastal Carolina 9th, minus 10. Your winner was Auburn at minus 28. But it's significant because in the Palmetto Series, South Carolina and Clemson men are in 3 tournaments that count towards the Palmetto Series point. Each now has defeated the other, finished higher than the other in the 2 tournaments thus far, so each has a point related to that. And then the next time they meet in the same tournament, whichever one finishes higher will get that point and will get the Palmetto Series point. For those who keep up with the Palmetto Series, which we should here in our state to kind of promote that and have something else to talk about in considering the rivalry. So the best Tiger was Oscar Home Bredyer, finished at -7, and the top Gamecock was Talon Harrison, who also finished at -7, and the top Chanticleer was Jack Lee, who finished at -6. Okay? We like to keep up with college golf. More on that, of course, on Birdies, Bogeys on Turf on Friday night at 7:35. All right, back to the phones. Let's go to Hank in Columbia. We apologize for those of you on the phones when we had to drop you because we have a phone issue going on. I think we've got it fixed to some degree. Hank, welcome in. How are you?
Doing fine, Corn. Pretty good weekend, notwithstanding Sunday's game. But, the common denominator in Sunday's game seemed to be LSU. Our girls looked like they just kind of spent themselves that night they played LSU, and so spotting them that lead, they could never muster enough energy to overtake it. And it was kind of reminiscent of last year when Texas had to play LSU in the semifinals, and they went to double overtime, and when they played us in the championship, they looked like they were out of gas. So, but a couple of things. You South Carolina, our girls did not. They haven't played UCLA this year. The game you were thinking about with UCLA was last year. They haven't played UCLA at all this year.
Well, who'd they lose to earlier? Who'd they lose to earlier?
They lost to Texas on the last-second shot in the championship out in Vegas. In Texas, our girls beat Duke, and Texas beat UCLA.
Oh, it was Oklahoma. I'm sorry. Oklahoma was the team that beat them. Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I have to pay the price here for being wrong on that, Plummer. Yeah. That's pretty poor. Pretty poor to get that one wrong. Okay, so it was Oklahoma that beat them. Texas beat them. UCLA was the previous year. What's the total now?
That's 37 on the year.
Okay. It's slowing down a little bit. Go ahead, Hank.
Yeah, but basically, I think when our girls are playing how they played most of the games this year, they're playing at the top. It's going to be a good Final Four. I heard you saying, I think all 3 teams that show up in the Final Four can beat UConn. Now, UConn is good enough to beat all the 3 other teams, but there's a big argument right now over whether UCLA should be a 1 seed or UConn because of the fact that UConn's schedule this year has been so poor. And UConn's played some common teams that we played. Both Carolina played and beat Southern Cal pretty bad out in California, and UConn did. But UConn played Michigan, who Vanderbilt beat, and lost. They won by 3 points. They played Louisville, who Carolina played. They played Louisville at home, and Louisville was kind of within single digits with them. So UConn is still an elite team and a defending champion, but I think if those 4 teams that they're projecting to get to the Final Four get there, you're going to have 2 great games and a great championship game. You're not going to see this runaway because the other team that UConn played that Carolina played lately was Tennessee. And when they played Tennessee, well, we know what Carolina did to Tennessee here by halftime. UConn next and Tennessee were actually tied at half. And Tennessee ran into some trouble in the third quarter for UConn to go ahead and beat them. So I think it'll be a great Final Four. If those 4 teams get there, don't be surprised if any of them could come out here with the championship.
Well, I don't disagree. I mean, they're all very close, and you're right. Any of them could do it. South Carolina, what will they be looking at coming off of this game yesterday? Of course, the turnovers were way too much for them, 14. They only turned Texas over 9 times. The Gamecocks shot 47%, gave up 54% shooting, and they missed 11 free throws. So they did a lot of things that you would point to their performance and say that's just not – they got out-rebounded by 9, got beat on the offensive glass by 5. I mean, everything that they normally, dominate, they got beat in. So they got to go back and think about, okay, when we get to that level, how are we going to counter that this time when we get to that level the next time around?
Yeah, Corn, they kind of looked out of gas.
That is not running out of gas is not a reason. Okay, don't give me running out of gas.
It's not an excuse.
Yeah, it is. You just said they ran out of gas. They didn't run out of gas. They got beat. They got beat.
I said they looked out of gas, Corn. And the one thing that happened this year was kind of a bad type thing, but it just wasn't much as you have a game when you play 2 games in a row. Because of all the tiebreakers in the middle, South Carolina played number 12 team and number 5 team going in. And Texas, bringing in the 3rd seed, got a really good draw, so I think they were fresh.
All right. Well, then they need to get some rest. They need to rest this week. Get their naps in. All right, thank you, Hank. Top of the hour, more to come. Don't go away.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the United States is well on our way to destroying Iran's ability to threaten its neighbors and the world with missiles.
This is a terrorist government. This is a terroristic regime. And we are seeing them conduct terrorism using nation-state elements, using weapons like missiles and one-way attack drones. And the objective of this mission is to destroy their ability to continue to do that. And we are well on our way to achieving that objective every single day with overwhelming force, with overwhelming precision.
Many admit in Congress they have mixed feelings, taking satisfaction in seeing vengeance taken on the leadership of an Iranian regime that has targeted U.S. service members for decades, yet fearful that another generation of soldiers could soon face combat experiences. Headed to the airport, plan ahead for potential delays as the government shutdown affecting the TSA stretches into week 6.
Long lines continue at airport security checkpoints in New Orleans and Houston. Travelers complained of waits over 3 hours, and airport officials are blaming it on staffing challenges as TSA agents work without pay due to the partial government shutdown. Jeff Friedman is the president and CEO of the U.S. Travel Association.
The people standing between our aviation system and those who would do it harm, they're showing up, they're doing their job, and they're not getting paid.
New Orleans International is telling travelers to expect a 2-hour wait. The Houston airports say travelers to Hobby should plan for a 4-hour wait. I'm Jennifer King.
A Virginia boater is suing D.C. Water, saying its negligence led to a massive sewage leak into the Potomac River. Good day on Wall Street with the Dow up by 239 points. The Nasdaq rose 308. The S&P advanced 56. More on these stories at townhall.com.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need the Social Security report. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
A former Nixon White House official who gained national fame has died at 99.
Alexander Butterfield was the White House aide who revealed the existence of President Richard Nixon's secret Oval Office taping system during the Watergate investigation. Butterfield's 1973 testimony to Senate investigators became one of the most pivotal moments in the Watergate scandal, leading to the legal battle for the tapes that ultimately forced Richard Nixon's resignation in 1974. As a deputy assistant to the president, Butterfield oversaw the taping system connected to the voice-activated listening devices that had been secretly placed. Bill Alexander, Washington.
Butterfield believed he'd had a hand in the president's fate. I didn't like to be the cause of that, but I felt that I was in a lot of ways, he said in a 2008 oral history for the Nixon Presidential Library and Museum. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
On 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Increasing clouds overnight, a slight chance for some showers. Our low is 63. Tomorrow, morning rain possible. Muggy will clear some for the afternoon. The high all the way to 85. Wednesday even warmer with a blend of sunshine and clouds and a high temperature up to 87. We are cooler and we get rain on Thursday. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
The Point. The Point.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number, 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
All right, welcome back. It is Sports Talk Media Network. Good to have you with us on this manic Monday. Brandon Brown from The Classics going to join us here in just a moment to recap things and tell us about yesterday's championship game for over in Georgetown. Man, we had a great time. You got to put that on your bucket list, especially if you're a high school baseball fan, or just a fan of sports, high school sports. That's a bucket list event. Former South Carolina tight end Nate Atkins re-signing with the Broncos. $1.635 million, one-year deal, $300,000 signing bonus, salary of $1.165. Other things involved there as well. So, man, he's done well in his career. Clemson starting pitcher tomorrow against Georgia Southern will be Eston Simpson, right-hander, going for the Tigers. We told you earlier, Alex Philpott starting for the Gamecocks. Former Clemson star running back Travis Etienne moving from the Jags to the Saints. For him. Former Coastal tight end Isaiah Likely moving from the Ravens to the Giants on a 3-year deal for him. The Panthers signed cornerback and special teams ace Caleb Evans on a 1-year deal. And also, in a bigger story, I'm just going down my list here, but they signed as well standout pass rusher Jalen Phillips from the Eagles, 4 years at $120 million. Wow, 4 years, $120 million. Clemson, by the way, did not receive a single vote in the new AP Men's Top 25. So they have dropped totally off the list, despite beating Louisville, playing North Carolina well on the road, and then losing. Lose to North Carolina and then beat Georgia Tech. Darlington Raceway announced today that Kurt Busch, Harry Gant will be the co-grand marshals for the race on March 22nd. Former South Carolina players expected to participate in their pro day on March 17th. Oscar Attaway III, Nick Barrett, Jared Brown, Colin Bryant, Brandon Cisse, Damon Clowney, Jordan Dingle, Bradley Dunn, Rasul Faison, Tyus Gear, Monkel Goodwine, Jalen Kilgore, Ronnie Porter, Eric Rice, DQ Smith, and Brian Thomas Jr. All right, let's go to by the way, Lander will be in the Division II tournament for the first time since 2020. The number 2 seed in the Southeast region will play Lincoln Memorial Saturday in Anderson at Abney Athletic Center in the first round. So way to go, Landerers. They used to be the Saints. They are now the Bearcats, I think. The Bearcats. Before we get to BB down in Georgetown, let's go to Triple T. Triple T, welcome in to Sports Talk. Where you been? I thought maybe you'd been kidnapped or left the country or something worse. I'm glad you're okay. Hello, Triple T. Silence is golden sometimes. Is he there, or is it an issue?
I'm not sure. And with our phone system being having some problems, I can't check on the other hand phone. So
phone is wonky. All right,
let's try Brandon.
Let's try Brandon and hope that he can hear us and can join us. Brandon, are you there, sir? Okay.
That is not a good sign, my friend.
Not a good sign at all. No.
Phil.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Phil.
Oh, I know what the problem was. You hit the wrong button.
I'll give myself one. I'll give myself one.
You hit the wrong stinking button.
Yeah, it wasn't a factual error,
but it's an error.
It's an error. I'll give myself that.
Go ahead.
Hey, Phil.
Yes, sir.
Is it a conspiracy against me? Every time I call, I either come behind Andy or Hank. I think it's a conspiracy, man. You know, both of them long-winded.
Yeah, that's what we do. We put the long-winders ahead of you to limit the amount of time.
I figured that.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Yes.
I didn't appreciate you talking about my cousin.
Which one?
My cousin is part owner in Magic City. I got a cousin part owner in Magic. I didn't appreciate that.
I'm sorry. I didn't say anything bad about it. I didn't say anything bad about it.
He spoke very highly of it, too.
Okay. The reason I'm calling is I'm sick and tired of some of my Gamecock fans are saying, you ought to be ashamed pulling against that black woman and that black coach at Carolina. I'm going to make it crystal clear to them.
All right, hang on. Don't go racial on me here. Don't make me.
No. That's what they call it. So my black...
nobody said anything. Ain't nobody said anything about that.
And I said, it's not about they're black or white or purple or green. They coach for Clemson. Carolina. Mm-hmm. I said, Don Staley was at Clemson, Lamar Paris at Clemson, I'm pulling for him. If my favorite football coach, Danny Ford, go to Carolina, I'm pulling against him. If Bill Foster go to Carolina, I'm pulling against him. Will Ham, I'm pulling against him. If Carolina playing hopscotch, roly-poly, in anything, I pull against them. If the devil is coaching, playing against Carolina, I'm with the devil. I'm letting the crystal clear. I'm not a Carolina fan.
Got it.
Never been and never will be. Y'all take care. Same old thing. Your old girl basketball school now. That's all you will be in the future. I'm saying, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all got whoop up the other night by Texas. This is just the beginning. Y'all might make the Elite Eight. Y'all might make it. Have a good evening. I don't appreciate going behind Andy and Hank. I'm saying, take care.
Thank you very much. It's a tough life out there. Getting on the air around here is tough. I think the Gamecocks have got some concerns coming off. I know it's just one game, but I don't buy what Hank said about them being tired and all that. You can't be tired. It's tournament time. It's championship time. How can you be tired? They had all day. They had 20. They played on Saturday afternoon. They had a full night's rest. Texas was just ready. They were better prepared. And South Carolina played sloppily for whatever reason. If you go by some of the media reports, I hate to pick on the media. I really shouldn't. But I checked one individual's posts. This individual had at least 5 posts in covering the game, 5 posts citing what was viewed by this individual as bad calls against the Gamecocks. This is a media person. Anyway, so maybe it was the referees that beat them, but they can't play like that when they get to the third round, and they will come home. They will come home early. That was just a poor performance. They shot poorly. They didn't rebound. They turned the ball over. They did everything you do to lose a game. All right, let's welcome in my man, Brandon Brown from Georgetown. Hey, that kind of rhymes. Brandon Brown from Georgetown. And congratulations to you and Red Gloves. And I shouldn't start naming people because obviously I'll forget. But what a job y'all did, and what a fantastic weekend. Thank you for having us down there. It was a blast. Who won the championship game yesterday?
Well, first I want to say, what did I do to have to go behind Triple T?
That's true. Bad timing on your part.
No, it was great. Dorman ended up winning the championship. They beat AC Flora. It was a weather-shortened game where the umpire, lightning was in the area, and Dorman was up 6-0, and umpire attempted to make a call for a delay, and Andy Howlett, it was a classy move. He put his hand up and said, "Hey, Dorman wins."
Yeah.
So, but man, what a great tournament Dorman had. They won the championship. They're obviously they had the MVP with Palmer Hornick. He also won the home run derby. They had their second baseman, their shortstop States Farr won the base running competition, and they won the skills contest, and they won the K. Richards Sportsmanship Award.
Wow.
So what a weekend to be a Dorman Cavalier.
Man, that team they're really good, and I was impressed by the young left-hander they threw on Thursday night. He looks very impressive.
Connor Wells.
Yeah, very impressive. But I mean, there's a lot of individual talent throughout that tournament. Every team had one or two guys that are just high level high school players.
Yeah, for sure. Connor Wells threw a one-hitter on Thursday night when I was sitting with you, and then the next night he was outdone by his teammate Muscle White threw a no-hitter. So it was just Dorman all the way. Everything was turning up Dorman this weekend.
Certainly sounds that way. You had the lieutenant governor there on Saturday and during the skills competition, and that was kind of neat. And she had a few remarks for everybody. It just seemed like just a great small town, South Carolina, Americana. I heard your PA announcer say this was on Saturday night. I think he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, that's the 16th time we've played the national anthem so far this weekend." So I mean, just a lot of fun. Was everybody generally satisfied with the way everything came off?
Yeah, that's the general consensus that I feel, at least from me. Text messages are coming in, just people talking about the great time they had. People mentioned you and your show and how cool it was to watch you do your thing in the press box. And the next night you did it at the world famous Winyah Bay Cafe and got to hang out with those guys and eat some good food. Man, we had some really good baseball. We had the number 3 player in the country. Now, though he didn't pitch, he did play, but he didn't pitch. We were hoping Carson Bowman would pitch, but anytime you get an opportunity to have a top 5 player in the country in your park, you got to do that. So he signed a bunch of autographs, and we had AC Flora, one of the class programs of the state, played for the championship and lost. But if Andy Howlett had won that would have been the 4th time that he had won it, which would have been the most all time. So just had some really good teams in the tournament that I can't wait to watch. James Island's also nationally ranked. Can't wait to watch them. You could very easily see James Island and Dorman play for the state championship in May.
Wow, that will be something. That'll be something. And how long do you guys take off, as far as relaxing and before you get back to work and start planning on 2027? Do you have schools knocking on your door trying to get into this event?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's always if you get, you mentioned a lot of things like the lieutenant governor. We had the Coastal Carolina baseball team come and throw out a first pitch, the guys that played in the tournament. But when it's all said and done, as long as you get, because Georgetown plays in it every year, but the 7 invites, as long as those go to the best you can, the 7 best teams in the state of South Carolina, then everything else is just dressing. As long as you get that right, then it's good. And I feel like this year we did a really good job of getting the great teams in.
Will the state be as loaded next year as it as it is this year with the kind of talent that was on display at this event, where you have that. And some of these guys I know are younger, like the freshman at Dorman. What's his name?
Carter Nash.
Nash, yeah, boy, he's a good-looking athlete.
Yeah, he is. He's a football player and a baseball player. I talked to his dad and asked him about that. He's, there's a chance he could be a two-way guy in college, and not just, like a Power 4, a major college. Just a superior athlete. When he walked through the gate, he signed more autographs than anybody all weekend. It's just funny how kids that were 2 to 3 years younger than him were getting his autograph. He can't even drive to practice. He was signing a bunch of autographs.
Well, that ballpark is awesome. What a high school park! It's not like most high school parks are where they're in the backyard of their high school. This is literally in the backyard of people's houses, built right in the community there. The old Howard High School football field converted into a baseball diamond, with people living all around it. It's just a very cool, unique place. Ball will get out of there. There were some home runs hit, so seemed like everybody had a great time. Congratulations to you and all your committee. I know you guys, men and women, put in a heck of a lot of work and planning on this thing, and y'all pulled it off perfectly.
What did you enjoy the most? You've been to a bunch of games. What did you enjoy the most?
I love the baseball, but I really enjoyed hanging out at the Winyaw Bay Cafe.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat being back there chopping it up with those guys.
I mean, doing the show on Friday night right at the outfield fence and having a ball. Let's see, did a ball come over? A ball came right in front of me. I'm not sure if one went out of the ballpark, but to have
when you broadcasted out there were 2 no-hitters that night.
Oh,
Tyler Vassey threw a no-hitter from Seneca, and Musselwhite threw one from Dorman.
Yeah.
So you probably didn't see one during those games, but there was another game that a home run did fly over your head.
Yeah. I mean, sitting right there by the outfield fence under a tent, doing the show, eating. Let's see, Friday night it was that the chicken? No, what was Friday night?
That was that was chicken. Yeah.
That was the chicken. Chicken was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, well, thank you for having us. Save me a place for next year for sure. And,
you got a lifetime invite.
All right. Well, hopefully that'll be many more years.
Yeah, man.
Many more years.
You having me on.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do. See you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's our buddy Brandon Brown, BB. Brandon Brown of Georgetown. He is the man down there. Go buy a car from him also out there on right there in Pawleys Island. Coastal. Trying to remember the name of the dealership. Coastal, Chevy, Cadillac. They got a whole bunch of different cars out there. I think Smitty bought a car from them. So they're great people to deal with when it comes to purchasing a car as well. You got the name?
Coastal, Cadillac, Chevrolet, and Nissan.
There you go. Or as I like to call it, Datsun. Be back. We're with Major Billy Downer of the Department of Natural Resources, and we're visiting at the brand new DNR offices at the State Farmers Market. Major, tell us more about this place.
That's right, Phil. The Department of Natural Resources has a new office located at the South Carolina Farmers Market. You can find us at 260D Epting Lane inside the Farmers Market grounds. Look for the DNR logo when you turn off of Highway 221 in West Columbia, or you can always go to the App Store on your Apple or Android device and look for Go Outdoors SC. Download the app and you can buy all of your license needs right there.
Visit GoOutdoorsSouthCarolina.com today.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
You've put in the work for your education. The extra early, extra late, extra work. That's because you understand education opens doors to better pay, better opportunities, and a better you. Being educated about playing the lottery is no different. It helps you be a better player, one who knows when to play and when to take a rain check. The lottery's a game, so let's keep it fun. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
If you want to reach sports fans, there's no better place than the Sports Talk Media Network. We give your business exposure on over 20 radio affiliates across South Carolina, plus online at SportsTalkSC.com and on our growing social media platforms. That means radio, digital, and social, all working together for your brand. Our audience is loyal, engaged, and they trust what they hear from us. We partner with local businesses, regional brands, and anyone who wants to connect with real sports fans. From live reads and sponsorships to digital advertising, we'll build a custom campaign to fit your goals and budget. Ready to advertise with Sports Talk Media Network? Visit sportstalksc.com/sales-contact. That's sportstalksc.com/sales-contact. Sports Talk Media Network. Advertising that reaches sports fans.
Unlike the South Carolina women not taking care of business, Texas did take care of business against the Gamecocks yesterday in Greenville. Kind of a shock to the system to see the Gamecocks handled that way. But it's only one loss. Everything is still ahead of them. They still have the opportunity to get the ring. They got to play better, and they can play better, and they probably will play better. Here's Dawn Staley as she took questions from the media after that loss in Greenville yesterday.
Dawn, I know you don't like to call them, but when they're on that run, 8-0, 10-0, any thought of trying to call a timeout right there?
No. If I did, I would have called the timeout. Just like let our players play through it a little bit. Didn't. I don't usually do it. See if we could gather ourselves and just make a play on both sides of the basketball. We couldn't do it.
What do you attribute that start to for Texas? Was it more them making plays or y'all making mistakes?
It's a little bit of both. I think they made plays. They forced us to play a certain way. I mean, turning the ball over isn't something that you can start a game like Texas and give them a head start. Give them a 12-point lead. We just it didn't feel right. Just from a mental and physical standpoint, you can try to keep pushing through, but every time that we would try to make a run, we had just like mental lapses, like uncharacteristic turnovers. Some of it was us, some of it was Texas, and they took advantage of it every single time, no matter who caused it.
I think this is the highest any team has shot against you percentage-wise this season. Obviously, some of the turnovers led to that, but I felt like Texas was really able to get to that mid-range. Just what stood out to you defensively today that your team didn't, play well enough?
We just didn't play well. I mean, they were moving pretty fast, and we weren't moving as quickly as they were. When you think about it, maybe it's a little fatigue. We've had depth when we got to this point. Played our starters some heavy minutes, so we got to look at that and maybe think, that contributed to it. A little mental fatigue, physical fatigue, but when you're not hitting on all cylinders like Texas, you're gonna feel it in every category.
Dawn, just what was the message to the team afterward to just take lessons from this as you now regroup and head into the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, our team knows we didn't play our best basketball, not nearly what we're capable of doing, and told them that the last time we lost in this situation, we won the national championship. So you got to think about that. It might be the very thing this team needs. It's not what I would think, yesterday coming in today, but now that we're here and it's a reality, you search for things that that have a connection that can give your team what it needs to make this run for a national championship. I do think we have enough in the room to do that. We'll rest and recoup at the end of the month, at the end of the week, and start that journey.
Dawn, I believe the kids are on spring break coming up this week. So what's the schedule like, getting back and giving them days off or whatever?
Yeah, we'll get back at the end of the week, probably Friday, practice Friday, take 4 days off.
I know you've worked Alicia into the rotation quite a bit since she got here, but 19 minutes off the bench, had some really solid minutes. Just kind of what led to her playing time today, and what did you like from her?
I did tell our team this. I think we got stronger. Like, if we could get Allie to play the way she did, I think she played pretty inspired. Think she did it like not playing yesterday, and I think not playing makes her think about the things that she needs to do to play. And if she can give us that, I mean, she got 7 rebounds on a great rebounding team like Texas. She held her own defensively, so it was pretty good and promising to know that. We needed scoring. We know Allie can score the basketball, and I thought she did a pretty good job. I think we should probably gotten her the ball a little bit more down there on the block and let her go to work, but we made a step forward in our journey to win a national championship. Somebody like her will add to the depth that we need to make this run.
Yeah, I think she's right. I thought Turnerby's in yesterday's game, a little bit I saw, she came in there and gave them some good minutes, so she could be a bonus for them moving forward. We'll be right back.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
On 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Increasing clouds overnight, a slight chance for some showers. Our low is 63. Tomorrow, morning rain possible. Muggy will clear some for the afternoon. The high all the way to 85. Wednesday, even warmer with a blend of sunshine and clouds and a high temperature up to 87. We are cooler and we get rain on Thursday. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
Calling all outdoorsmen and gun enthusiasts. On March 20th and 21st, Palmetto State Armory brings you The Gathering at the Clinton House. Back for its 6th year in Clinton, South Carolina, join us on March 20th and 21st for a full-scale range day and vendor experience featuring demo ranges with your favorite rifle, shotgun, and suppressor manufacturers, alongside custom knife and gear makers you won't find anywhere else. Single and 2-day passes are available, but quantities are limited. Don't miss The Gathering. Get tickets now at palmettostatearmory.com/The Gathering.
About an hour. With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Australian Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke says that Australia has granted asylum to 5 members of the Iranian women's soccer team who are visiting the country for a tournament. The women were transported from their hotel in Gold Coast, Australia, to a safe location by Australian federal police officers in the early hours of Tuesday morning local time. There they met with Burke, and the processing of their humanitarian visas were finalized. President Trump had a call with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss the war in Iran and other issues. According to the Kremlin, Monday's frank and businesslike conversation lasted about an hour. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 239 points. The Nasdaq rose 308, with the S&P 500 advancing by 56. This is SRN News.
Are you tired of that sinking feeling when the electric bill arrives? Does the phrase peak hours trigger anxiety and a headache? Do you suffer from chronic fatigue of watching your hard-earned money evaporate right into the power grid? You may be suffering from utility pain and anxiety disorder, or UPAD. Symptoms include sweating when running the AC, a fear of turning on lights, and a general feeling of powerlessness over your energy costs.
It's time for you to try Solarists from Ken at Broker Solar. Broker Solar isn't a temporary fix, but a lasting solution with cutting-edge solar technology designed to address high energy bills at their source. Many clients have experienced immediate relief from high monthly payments with reports of increased home value and greater financial freedom. Imagine a brighter future for your home and your wallet. Side effects include the freedom to use your appliances when you want and a powerful sense of energy independence. Broker Solar, a brighter outlook for your home and wallet. Call us now, 803-807-7417. That's 807-7417, or online at brokersolar.com.
Life's busy, but that shouldn't mean putting your car care on hold. At Team 1 Sudduth Automotive on Millwood Avenue, you can drop off your vehicle outside business hours and count on our certified technicians to do the rest. From oil changes to engine overhauls, we make it easy for you and your car. Enjoy nationwide warranty, top quality parts, and a team that really cares. You can even visit Team1Automotive.com and book an appointment at your convenience. Team 1 Sudduth Automotive, we fix everything. That's Team1Automotive.com.
Experience South Carolina's printing powerhouse. Professional Printers is your trusted partner, bringing over 30 years of expertise in print and graphics. From digital printing to web and sheet-fed solutions, we handle it all with a team of over 100 dedicated professionals. Locally owned and operated, we have 2 locations in the Midlands and serve our customers with pride, ensuring top-notch service and quality in every project. We do it all, including storage and promotional products. Visit ProPrinters.com and elevate your printing experience with us.
As a business owner, you want your customers to have the best experience possible, and that includes convenient parking. If you have designated parking spaces or an entire lot, Schroeder's Towing can provide free signage and installation for businesses to deter unwanted parking and removal of abandoned vehicles. Contact Schroeder's Towing and ask about free signage for your spaces or lot. Take back your parking. 803-772-7930 and SchroedersTowing.com.
Schroeder's Towing, Columbia's finest and fastest hookers in town.
Hey y'all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks y'all and God bless.
Scott Hamilton coming up in just a second. Hit some of these text messages. This is from the 843. Why can't the women do a basic layup? Thanks, Dave. Yeah, they miss a lot of layups. That's one of the things about women's basketball. They miss a lot of layups. They have a lot of rebounds. They miss a lot of inside shots. It's part of the game. From the 803, Phil, LSU lost 2 games to Sacramento State. Tennessee lost 2 games to Kent State. Arkansas lost 2 games to Stetson. This is the effect of the transfer portal. John. Talking baseball there, I'm assuming they're talking baseball. Yeah? Yep, some teams are taking some losses this year.
I'm looking at the same text. Where does he say his name is John?
I don't know, I just deleted it. I thought I saw John.
I don't know what you're talking about.
From the 803, Gamecock Tony from Lancaster, Gamecock women will be there in the end. Can't win every SEC championship. They still the best team in the country. All right. Very good. And this is from this must be from Hank. The women did not play UCLA this year. And yes, if they are playing their best, they can beat UConn. I don't think they can beat UConn. If UConn's playing its best, they're playing their best, I don't think that'll happen. Let's welcome in Scott Hamilton, veteran columnist, sports writer extraordinaire, now calling Edisto Island his kingdom. Welcome in, sir. How are you?
I want that text number because I have questions, as you know, that I can text.
Well, it's 803-900-4847.
We need to get that sponsored by AT&T.
Well, it is sponsored. It's sponsored by Larry Lucas State Farm Insurance in Columbia and Lexington.
See, you can't. Okay, Larry Lucas, I apologize. He didn't give that info out before he gave the number, but I will come to you for all my insurance needs.
There you go. That's what you should do. So,
hey, I heard you talk about UCLA there real quick. Fun fact. Can you name the first women's basketball coach at UCLA?
John Wooden.
No.
Oh. I thought that was a trick question.
Beaufort's Kenny Washington.
Who?
Kenny Washington. Is from
Kenny,
Beaufort.
Kenny Washington.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Played for John Wooden.
Right.
He was the first women's basketball coach, and I wrote a column about him last year in the Final Four because it was UCLA was down there. And he lives down in Beaufort, and let me tell you, they were having a viewing party and all that. He was a wonderful man, wonderful conversation. I could have talked to him all night.
Yeah, great player at UCLA too himself. Great player.
Yes, he was.
Back in the day. All right, so you and your cohorts with the AP voting panel there, you turn your nose down at Clemson totally. Not a single vote for the Tigers this time.
Yeah, that's still a troubled team. I can't figure out what's going on. I think, and I tried to foo-foo it at first, I think exhaustion was playing a factor, during that 4-game skid. Then they turned around and they beat Louisville. But that North Carolina after that. That was a real opportunity for them, Phil. And good teams have to step up when you get those opportunities. If they would have beaten North Carolina, sans Caleb Wilson, they would have gotten a double bye in the ACC tournament. And you talk about the elixir for your exhaustion. Well, getting that extra day off would have meant a whole lot, but they didn't step up to the task. And I know it was on the road, and I know that that's a haunted house for Clemson basketball historically. I saw them blow, I think, a 25-point lead when Larry Shyatt was the coach there back in 2001. But if you're a top 25 team, you step up and you win that game, and they didn't do it.
Yeah. So what were some of the key points of your voting this week? What did you do up and down the list there? In particular, let's see, Florida, which I think outside of Duke is playing as well as anybody in the country. They've moved up another spot to 4. How'd you treat the Gators?
I have the Gators at number 4 also. I want to make sure I'm not telling you right. I am at number 5. Let me take a quick peek here. But I personally, I got them at 4. I think the Gators are, honestly, I think they're the best team in the country. I mean that. And I'm not saying because they're from the SEC or anything like that. I watched that Florida team, Phil. That's a good basketball team, and the only time teams get close to them, and I'm thinking about the Kentucky game most recently, is when they almost get into the mindset of playing with their food. I mean, they're good. They're good in the front court. They're good in the back court. They're veteran. They've been in high-stakes games and high-stakes situations. I can't say enough about this Florida team other than their coach grates on me.
Yeah. Well, he gets it done, and so does Duke. And, I mean, Duke dominated the ACC postseason awards from Coach of the Year to almost every award honoring a player. 29-2, defeated impressively North Carolina at home. Of course, North Carolina's down a key player there, so you give them a little bit of grace from that standpoint. But Duke is playing excellent basketball. They're going to be, whatever they draw in the tournament when we get to the NCAAs here in another week or so. Their road to the championship is. I know they'll have some tough ones when they get a little bit deeper into it, but who's going to slow them down? You got Arizona, Michigan, Florida, Houston. Would you say any of those are better than Duke?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Okay. Let me preface it by saying this: we were tasked with assembling our All-American teams, and three different teams, five guys each. And we had to do our Player of the Year, and we had to do our Coach of the Year. And I had Fred Hoiberg in Nebraska as Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
My Player of the Year is Cam Boozer. I think he's the best player in America, but it's to the point where they lean more heavily on him than any other team in America leans on its best player. I'm comfortable saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at a Florida, and I see just the talent spread out. And they also have the best defensive player, at least the best interior defensive player of the last few years since Walker Kessler in Chinulu for Florida. I think he's just a fantastic basketball player, and I'm curious to see how that matchup would work with Boozer's inside game. His footwork is so marvelous, but Chinulu, man, I'm trying to think of a better defender of the last 10 years that has footwork like that inside, and I'm at a loss. Walker Kessler was a shot blocker, rim protector, true center, but Chinelu is more versatile than that. And I think that he could be what nullifies Boozer at least half his game, which is around the basket.
Mm-hmm. How did you treat Miami of Ohio this time around? What's your feeling if they were to be upset in their tournament, which they've had some close calls here of late. So how did you treat them? But do you think regardless of what happens in the MAC tournament that and I think they open up with Frank Martin and UMass, what's your thought on them moving forward?
You got to put them in, Phil. 31-0, 31-0. I don't care who you play in. I mean, the goal is to win the game. And they're winning the games, and they're scoring a lot of points, over 94 points a game. And even if they lose their conference tournament, to have such a marvelous season up to this point, I think justifies a just reward.
Mm-hmm.
My concern is this. Okay, let's say they don't win the MAC and they end up getting around a 10 or a 9 or that's fine. But let's say they run the table and are what would it be? 34-0, 35-0, something like that. Where do you put them? Where do you put them? I look at 35-0 and I'm wowed.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
My concern, I think we might have touched on it last week, is that the selection committee saddles them with a 5 or a 6. And we know what happens with those, because those 11s and 12s are usually pretty good teams.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be almost punishment for a job well done, that they would have been better off coming in as a 10 or whatnot than getting stuck as a 5.
That's going to be a case study of what to do with this kind of team coming from that kind of conference. How do you treat them? Where do you place them? Yeah, it's a tough.
So you know what? It is tough.
Yeah.
Phil, I don't know about you, but I've always been more fascinated with the seeding than the field, because we usually know who gets in, but it's actually how they break down the seeding and who goes where. No, I'm not talking about the first 4, the top 4 seeds. I'm talking about the 4s and the 5s and the 8s and I just think it's fascinating how they sort all that out, and now they have these metrics out to yin yang,
mm-hmm.
which but at the end of the day, how many of them still rely on the eye test? These basketball experts, how much do they rely on the eye test? And if they do that, how do they gauge Miami of Ohio? Because a basketball person can look at them and know. What do they think? All we're hearing right now is Bruce Pearl screaming because he wants to make sure his kids got an extra spot.
Yeah, absolutely. What a joke. Last thing, we'll let you go. How shocking is it, and this has got to be a real shock to the Big Blue Nation, that Kentucky will be playing in the first game on the first day of the SEC tournament at 12:30 in Nashville. There'll be a lot of Kentucky fans there. For them, the fans are like, hey, it's just an extra game for us. They'll be playing LSU. But my point is, with all the money they spent on putting this team together, they got to play in the first round, the first day of play, not even the first round, the play-in day of the SEC tournament and the first game. I mean, that is a true slap in the face for that program, which is capable of getting hot and running right through that tournament.
Yeah, and that, I have 2 points of emphasis. One, that I know UK's had its injury problems, but that's still a really good roster. But I hate that here we are in the second week of March, and Mark Pope is still looking like he's apprehensive about his rotations and who should play when and what guys should play together and blah, blah. And that's stuff you get as a veteran coach, and it shows his inexperience is what it does. I think it is such a shock at UK that they are trying to come to grips with it. I had people text me the other night asking me how much tickets are. By the way, you can get in for $12 for the whole session.
Yeah.
But the only people that are happy about it is the city of Nashville.
Yeah.
Because that's another day with Big Blue money. And I was at the Final Four in 2015 when Kentucky rolled in undefeated. And we had to do hotel nights. You had to do a 3-night minimum and, everything for the Final Four. And then they lost to Wisconsin. And I went back out on the streets on Monday, which is usually a big day, they said, for people to go out and eat and party and buy stuff. And I talked to some vendors, and I remember one telling me this: there ain't no money like Kentucky money, and it's all dried up. It was Echo Valley, buddy. But those Nashville people are chomping at the bit right now, hoping that UK makes a run. Because if you get Kentucky people making that short drive for 4 straight days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, my goodness gracious, they'll make beaucoup dollars, as Spicoli would say.
Well, you got to feel bad for is Missouri. Here's Missouri, and they're like, okay, well, we've had a pretty good season, and we've made it to the second bye. Didn't have to play the first day, so we got a bye to the second day. And oh, by the way, we're probably going to have to play Kentucky in our first game. I mean, don't be surprised if Kentucky makes it all the way to Florida on Friday afternoon.
I wouldn't be at all. I mean, that's still, even shorthanded, that's a good, $23 million roster.
Mm-hmm.
And Colin Chandler, he's a guy that gets hot. Oway, the preseason player of the year, looks like it in SEC play for the most part. They could get hot. They could go all the way to the championship game. But then people at Kentucky are still going to remember this one, buddy. They're not happy. I can't in my lifetime recall them ever playing on a Wednesday, and I think the last time they actually did it was 1979, but it was under special circumstances.
Yeah, I can't either. I think you're right. Okay, my friend, thanks for being with us tonight. Have a great week with the tournaments, and we'll hook it up again next Monday night to look at the big dance.
You're the man, Phil.
Thank you. You too, buddy. Thank you very much. All right, there you go. The Fripper of not Fripp, he's down at Edisto, so I need to change that. The educator of Edisto Island. You don't like that? No.
It has no.
He educates people down there.
Yeah, I understand that, but it has no.
Just hit the music. Just hit the music.
It doesn't rhyme.
Well, it doesn't have to rhyme.
It has to rhyme, Phil.
Educator and Edisto. Okay. Let me think. What rhymes with Edisto? Hard to come up with something that rhymes with Edisto.
Got 10 seconds.
Nah, I'm not going to come up with it. We will do recruiting after the break. Be right back.
Start your journey with a new auto loan. Get ready for a season of adventure. Escape the ordinary and get on the road with an auto loan from Founders Federal Credit Union. From city streets to off-road trails, your journey begins here. Our competitive rates can get you on the road in a ride that fits your lifestyle and budget. Featuring no payments for up to 90 days, you can apply for a pre-approved spending limit valid for 30 days before you start shopping. Let a Founders representative be your trusted advisor to make sure your purchase makes sense for you and your finances. Ask for a free auto insurance quote for a personalized plan to protect your purchase. Founders also offers low fixed rates for used vehicles, giving you an affordable fixed monthly payment. Visit one of our many convenient office locations or go to foundersfcu.com/auto to apply for an auto loan today or to see if you qualify for membership with Founders. Membership qualification required. See webpage for details.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Effective training is not just about lifting heavier weight. It is about producing force with control. The Tsunami Bar was developed in 2012 to enhance high-intensity workouts while helping reduce joint stress. Its flexible design creates controlled oscillation, requiring your muscles to stabilize and work together throughout each movement. This promotes greater muscle activation, improved balance, and stronger functional performance. Tsunami Bar Sports is committed to continuous improvement, delivering dynamic training tools for individuals at every fitness level. Whether you are focused on long-term strength, injury prevention, or improving rotational stability for sports like golf, Tsunami Bar training supports total body performance. Discover more at TsunamiBarSports.com. Visit TsunamiBarSports.com. That's TsunamiBarSports.com.
It kind of goes together well, Phil. It's becoming a normal thing to hear when we come back from breaks.
A listener has pointed out to me that Lander is not the Saints. They were not the Saints. They were the Senators before they became what they are now, which is Bobcats or Bearcats? I think it's Bearcats. Well, why they change? Why'd they leave the Senators? Limestone was the Saints. There you go. Now, Saints, that's available since Limestone is no more. So if you want to be the Saints, you can go grab that. That's available.
I'll keep that in mind.
So, yeah, sorry about that. That was error number
38 on the year. We had 11 in January, 22 in February, and 5 so far in March.
Okay, we're getting better.
I mean, you don't really have a choice.
And let's see, we had a recommendation for a nickname for Scott.
Yeah, I came up with it during the break.
Well, somebody else sent it to us.
But you'll be the judge. I did come up with it first.
Well, you didn't mention it, but I'll go with the person who sent it to us.
The Big Toe of Edisto.
The Big Toe of Edisto.
I think it's a great name. It
like
fits
that.
him well.
All right, recruiting now on Sports Talk, brought to you by Seawells. Now, I always appreciate listeners who are paying attention. We're just testing you. You're not testing me. I'm testing you. That's how this works. We're seeing if you're paying attention. All right, Seawells, bringing you the recruiting report for tonight. We have a menu yet for this week?
No, sir.
No, okay. So they'll have food, and they'll have delicious food, and it will be well prepared for you at a very reasonable price. So get to Seawells during the week for the daily luncheon buffet. And enjoy that Tuesday through Friday. Make sure you call Seawells for all your catering needs, 803-771-7385. For more information, check them out online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. So Clemson gets a commitment, first one from their weekend, Bryce Kish, 6'4", 220, Howell, Michigan. He and his family spent roughly 13 hours on campus Saturday, checking out every aspect of the program, and he loved it. He loved everything about Clemson. He loved the culture. He loved the things that he believes the coaching staff stands for. Really likes Ben Boulware and Tom Allen. He was blown away on his visit, and he's not taking any other official visits. He says he is done. He likes that they're passionate. They're loud as coaches. He likes the way they work on the field. Loves the way they do things. He had previously scheduled official visits to Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, and Minnesota. But he will be all Clemson, he says. No chance that he would change his mind. Sixth commitment for the 2027 class and the second at linebacker. Defensive end Elijah Cox, 6'5", 230 from Atlanta, was in to see South Carolina last week, his third time. He was in for a spring game last year and a game this past season. Sterling Lucas had been recruiting him for South Carolina before leaving. Now Deion Barnes has picked that up. He really likes Deion Barnes, likes how he has transitioned from Penn State to South Carolina and working with those players. He's gotten to know Shane Beamer and defensive coordinator Clayton White as well. Now South Carolina has not yet offered. He would love to get an offer from the Gamecocks, and he feels like there were positive vibes this past visit that he had. He does have offers from Florida State, Ole Miss, Tulane, Wake Forest, Kentucky, Missouri, East Carolina, Purdue, Baylor, and others. He's got official visits already set as well for June with Florida State and Ole Miss. Clemson handing out more offers from the visitors, or to the visitors from this weekend. Defensive lineman Karan Wheeler from Baltimore, offensive tackle Sidney Rolou from Quebec, Canada, now in Bullard, Texas. Tight end Tommy Douglas of Chatham, New Jersey. Linebacker Sean Fox of Warren, Indiana. Defensive end Caleb Spivey of Alexander City, Alabama. And running back Gary Walker of Fairburn, Georgia. Wide receiver Major Floyd of Dublin, Georgia was at Clemson Saturday. USC is among his offers. Place kicker Moses Barker of Fuquay Varina, North Carolina was at Clemson Saturday. Cole's Kicking ranks him number 1 in the country. Place kicker McCray Harrelson of LaGrange, Georgia, was at Clemson on Friday. 2028 defensive back Braylon Fuller of Midland Valley was at Clemson today. South Carolina offered offensive lineman Ryan Moore, 6'4", 300, of Tyrone, Georgia. He visited on Friday. He also visited last March. He did not allow a sack last season. His offense rushed for over 3,000 yards. He has officials set with Tulane and North Carolina. Running back Javaris Warner of LaGrange, Georgia, was at South Carolina Friday. Cincinnati commitment right now. Hale McGranahan, the Big Spur, reported. Burns running back Trey Segura was also at USC on Friday. 2028 wide receiver Zion Robinson of Stockbridge, Georgia, was at South Carolina on Friday. 2029 offensive lineman Julius Odenthal, 6'5", 287, Pennington, New Jersey. He'll visit South Carolina on March 18th. He also has trips coming up with Ohio State, Kentucky, Michigan, Michigan State, Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Tight end Jake Sneed of Houston was offered by Coastal Carolina. USC's been showing some interest as well. And the South Carolina women offered 2028 5'7" Morgan Reckley of Fayetteville, Georgia. And that is recruiting. Check it out online, SportsTalkSC.com, on X, SC Sports Now, SC Sports Now. Check out the show on YouTube. Check out the show on Facebook. Check us out tomorrow night from Nashville. Thank you, Plummer. See you tomorrow.